Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called on the international community to forge a unified response to bring about desired changes to the situation in Afghanistan. He said Afghan's territory must not become a source of radicalization and terrorism regionally or globally. He was speaking in a virtual address to the G20 Extraordinary Summit on Afghanistan. Parmeshwar joining us with the latest on that. Parmeshwar, what other details do we have about what the Prime Minister said?
Thank you, Ankita. Well, in a virtual address at the G20 Extraordinary Summit on Afghanistan, Prime Minister Modi said that every Indian feels the pain of Afghan people and called on the international community to forge a unified response to bring about desired changes to the situation in Afghanistan. He also stated that Afghanistan's territory must not become a source of radicalization and terrorism regionally or globally. Now, not all G20 leaders were present. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin sent representatives, but all participants agreed on the need to provide more aid to the war-torn country. Now, our Prime Minister pressed for urgent and unhindered humanitarian assistance to Afghan citizens and underlined the need for having an inclusive administration that includes women as well as minorities to preserve the socio-economic gains of the past 2 decades. The UNSC resolution adopted on the 30th of August under India's presidency of the global body talked about the need for upholding human rights in Afghanistan, demanding that the Afghan territory should not be used for terrorism and that a negotiated political settlement should be found for this crisis. The call for humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan has become much stronger in recent weeks as the country faces a grim winter ahead because of food and medicine shortages. Now, the Prime Minister emphasized the need for the international community to ensure that Afghanistan has immediate and unhindered access to humanitarian assistance, something he kept repeating. Now, remember, the UN Secretary General warned at a donor conference last month in Geneva that the poverty rate was soaring and public services were close to collapse in Afghanistan. The Prime Minister called on the international community to forge a unified international response to this. Without it, it would be difficult to bring about the desired change in Afghanistan's current situation. Now, the Prime Minister recalled that over 500 development projects have been implemented by India in Afghanistan, and the MEA press release highlighted that the Prime Minister also underlined the need to ensure that Afghan territory does not become a source of radicalization and terrorism like we stressed earlier. He emphasized on the need to enhance our joint fight against the nexus of radicalization and the smuggling of drugs and arms in the region. Now, India's position on Afghanistan, articulated by Prime Minister Modi, shows consistency as India has not yet recognized the Taliban setup in Kabul as a legitimate government of Afghanistan.